John Stevens, thank you. Lord Stevens, thanks for your time. You served as Commissioner of the Met. Listening to that, Dr. Rupert Read, who is a spokesperson for Extinction Rebellion and a lecturer at University of East Anglia. When doctor people say the message has been heard, please, can you and your colleagues go home so people can keep their jobs? How do you respond?
So I don't think Lord Stevens quite understands. This is not just another protest. This is a rebellion. Our government has lost its legitimacy because how can a government be legitimate, which is putting its people on a course to potential mass starvation and civilizational collapse? And that is where we are heading if we don't radically change course. You don't have to take my word for it. That's what the UN says. That's what the IPCC says.
Yeah, but you do accept Britain as a world leader.
Until these policies change.
Dr. Read, you do accept Britain as a world leader in some of these measures?
No, I do not. You said earlier, Nick, that Britain has led the way in terms of emissions reductions, but that's only on the government's fake figures. Those figures do not include air travel. They do not include sea travel. They do not include all the emissions in all the products that we buy. If you include all those figures, then our emissions have barely dropped since 1990.
Well, I've got a figure here that says they're down 39%. Dr. Read, Dr. Read, I've got a figure here that says they're down 39% since 1990.
That figure is false because it does not include sea, it does not include air, it does not include embodied emissions. And you can ask climate expert Kevin Anderson for full backup of what I just said.
I sense we can also... Let's move to another area, if we might. There is a real possibility now that people will lose their jobs as a result of the protests. Surely you can't sanction that.
Look, we're sorry for the disruption.
Never mind sorry for disruption. Someone losing their job, Dr. Read.
Yes, look, I'm getting to that, and the point is this, Nick. The point is that there's nothing compared to the devastation you will have to the economy if there is a climate-induced collapse, which is what is likely if we do not radically change
you're not listening.
Course.
A bloke or woman might lose they won't have any money.
But, Nick, there are no jobs on a dead planet. Do you understand? We're talking about an existential
so
threat.
It's you justify, Dr. Read.
Why we're resorting to these measures, which we would much rather not resort to. We would much rather just, send some emails to our MPs,
Dr. Read,
go on a march and so on and so forth, and be listened to, and everything change. But that hasn't happened.
You have to let me speak.
So
you have to let me speak, Dr. Read. You must let me speak. You're actually saying it is necessary for people to be unemployed.
Well, no, it's not necessary at all. It all depends what the government does. If the government listens to us...
Dr. Read, the government does not run the businesses in the West End that will let people go.
Protest these demonstrations, this rebellion now. If the government agrees to speak with us and to take seriously our programme, we've made that absolutely clear from the start. So the onus here is firmly on the government.
Lastly, to stop public transport. My understanding is that to save the planet, we should all be using public transport more. Do you agree with some of your colleagues or fellow protesters, however you want to term them, who glued themselves to Dockland trains yesterday?
Look, what happened yesterday was that we shut one line down for a few hours.
But why?
Can I answer the question? If dangerous climate change is allowed to let rip and sea level rise comes, all of the underground will be shut down permanently. So what we're trying to do is make the point here that we need to radically change course. If we do not, we won't have public transport in London in the future. That's the real point here.
Lastly, how does smashing windows at the Shell headquarters validate your cause?
So I think you're talking about the action that Farhana Yameen, one of the international...
No, she didn't smash the windows. No, I've got to correct this, okay? Because she didn't... I've been on a television show that she glued herself to the pavement. She didn't smash the windows. So I come back to my point. Do you sanction effectively vandalism?
And of course, criminal damage is not a wonderful thing, but criminal damage draws attention to the cause. And what Farhana Yameen and her colleagues in Extinction Rebellion decided to do is to draw attention to the fact that, as we all know, Shell are climate criminals.
They're not here to defend themselves. So I've turned you down, so if you just be quiet for a second, I'd be grateful. Thank you. Doctor, what do you lecture in?
I am a lecturer in philosophy.
Okay, I'm grateful for your time, Dr. Rupert.